Neptune. Neptune heightens our imagination. It is the planet of visions, of dreams. And wherever we have Neptune in our charts, this is where we can really envision the perfect life, the perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect relationship. It's like we get sucked into this world of glitter and glamour, where we are this hero going a quest, where everything is perfect, where we always win, and everything ends up in a happy ending. This is why Neptune is also known as the planet of illusions, in a sense that the person that is strongly influenced by Neptunian pull may not always be able to see reality clearly. It may end up confusing what is real with its fantasy. However, in other side, Neptune is also the planet of disillusionment and dissolution. This is because eventually the reality always breaks through, leaving the person completely hypnotized by Neptunian pull, feeling victimized, disappointed, and lied to. This happens because the dreamer may not always know that it's dreaming, or it may just not want to wake up. This is why Neptune is also known as the planet of escapism and addictions. As people that are heavily hypnotized by the dreams and fantasies may resort to this kind of artificial ways in order to keep themselves under this dreamy and hypnotic state. They may also lie, manipulate in order to convince themselves and others that their fantasy is real. This is why Neptune is also considered the planet that creates lies and manipulations. Neptune also can create a lot of confusion, with people not really seeing things that are there or hearing things that have not been said or being misunderstood because the person is not communicating from a conscious, grounded way. The person is just seeing and perceiving whatever they want to see and perceive. However, I may be sounding like Neptune is actually a very good thing that always go bad, and this is not what I mean at all, guys. Neptune, when it's used constantly, it can become a great force for inspiration, for creativity, for envisioning our goals and our dreams, as long as we are conscious of what is real and what is not. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011, and it will now enter Aries this month on the 30th of March. And this, guys, will be a huge shift of energy from water into fire. So this will really ignite us, picks us up, and get us going and moving. But before talking about Neptune in Aries, I want to do a small recap about what Neptune in Pisces was, also to help you to understand a little bit of the effects of the planet. Neptune in Pisces is considered to be in domicile and in exaltation, but in reality its effects can be a little bit dampening on our energy and our projects. This is because Neptune in Pisces, it's like a little fish in the water that is just flowing with the currents, unable to really put up a fight, because it feels like it's in this big ocean that is so much bigger than him, that is so overpowering and overwhelming that it has no other choice than surrender. The big core lesson here is wherever Neptune has been transiting in our charts, it's where we probably before were holding on to things too much, trying to control everybody too much, or following patterns of behavior persistent that were not supporting for us. And with Neptune being there, it taught us to let go and to surrender. Maybe we have put up a fight and maybe we didn't get anywhere because we were in this vast sea. And eventually we learned through this process to just kneel and surrender and accept this higher force, accept that there is higher power, and reconnect with ourselves and reconnect with a deeper truth, with our core center, in order to find the guidance, in order to find the healing, in order to find and see what is true and what is not. Because many of us, we couldn't get that from the outside world anymore. And we had to turn back in and look inside of us. And in the same time, we needed to be more humble and put ourselves into a position of service to the collective, a service to this higher group, to this higher force, to God. Many of us may have reconnected with God, with religion, with spiritual practice during this time, looking for guidance, looking for a way to see through the smoke and mirrors of Neptune in Pisces. We also may have been much more easily fooled and manipulated by governments, or by people in power, or by spiritual leaders, all because of this feeling of overwhelm, all because of this feeling of not being able to fight or being able to understand reality clearly. We may have been much more easily swayed, manipulated, and be more going with the group or turning the blind eye to certain things. We may have also have experienced a lot of dampening and lowering of our vital energy, because Neptune, when it's squared or badly aspected, especially in Pisces, creates a big spotlight on health. And when it's squared and badly aspected, it can give rise to mysterious diseases that are not immediately medically explained, or they are not easily to cure. Neptune entering Aries, let's go, it is fire. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, is the initiator. If you want to understand Aries, it's very easy. Just look back at yourself when you were an adolescent. How did you behave? When you were an adolescent, probably you just wanted to go out there, explore the world. You were very rebellious. You wanted to listen to your parents. You just wanted to try things for yourself. And you didn't have this fear of conscience, of danger. You would fight Goliath. Well, at least I was like that. And in general, all teenagers are quite adventurous and quite rebellious and quite initiative. So Aries is the pioneer force, is the initiator, is the trailblazer. It doesn't want just to swim in the water like a fish and go with the flow. It wants to part the waters and walk through them. And this, connected with the planet Neptune that represents our dreams and our visions, will be a powerful force to help us to actually achieve them. Because we will not just be in that dreamy state, just flowing, not being able to distinguish any direction. We will just go into any direction that we feel like driven to go, with fire in our asses. Let's go, let's do it. And let's go and let's do it now. However, on the 25th of May, Saturn will also enter the sign of Aries, and it will conjunct Neptune. So what will happen when the planet that represents maturity, responsibility, difficulties, obstacles, the planet that represents that stern father figure that wants to teach us the hard lessons in life and the cost of things, will conjunct Neptune, the planet of imagination and visions, where we cannot see things clearly, where we just want to envision and dream. This will be a massive wake-up call, a massive awakening process, and a harsh one. It will not be a pleasant wake-up call, unfortunately, because the energy of Saturn is serious, is mature, is realistic, it can be even depressing. So it will be a massive wake-up call in which our illusions and all the lies and all manipulations will start crumbling and dissolving in front of our eyes. Waking up a person under Neptunian spell on the sign of Aries can be dangerous, because we're not speaking about the sign of Pisces that when it wakes up from an illusion just feel maybe depressed and victimized and maybe try to go into escapism or lies or manipulation. We are speaking about the sign of Aries, the warrior, the initiator, the trailblazer. And Aries, when they are angry, when they are disappointed, when they feel victimized, they will just aggressively cut something out of their lives. They will leave aggressively a place. And especially if they want to stay under the spell of the illusion, they may just try to forcefully try to keep that lie by using aggression, by using massive action. And Aries is very physical sign. So I can predict that probably we will have an escalation of bellic actions or rage or rampage or aggressive behavior from people, that waking up from the illusion they may feel just angry and see the reality. They may feel angry or because they may feel fooled or lied or victimized, or they may just feel angry because they dream has been stripped away, and they will try to by force enforce that the fantasy and the lies not just on their own life but on everybody else. So we may see an escalation of world leaders trying to dominate the masses, of people at workplaces becoming too aggressive, too direct, too impatient. We may see a breakup of a lot of couples, organizations, and groups, all because people will be under this Aries energy, in which, if I can see now that I'm being fooled or lied or victimized, I'm just going to really get enraged and start breaking things around me. Who speaks about lies and manipulations and illusions also speaks about structures, because Saturn is very connected with structure. So we may see also a massive dissolving of structures that are not useful in society, of structures that are obsolete, of structures that are maybe creating more problems than solutions. We may see a massive dissolution of philosophies and ideas that are not serving any useful purpose. Things that are there just to delude and fool people and keep people trapped into fantasy, but they are not actually practical or functional in society, and they are not helping us to connect or to evolve. The people who are casting spells in order to keep the masses under this hypnotized state may really escalate during this time, becoming even more aggressive in doing those spells and those brainwashing fantasies and enforcing them on people. This is especially important for women, because women have been for a long time under spell and still are under spell. And this is why women do not have this so much life force or action power as men have, because women are constantly being siphoned by this social spell that makes them give to men. So they are constantly and constantly giving the energy to men, especially to men in power. These spells also make the woman more complacent, more obedient, almost like a slave, because they are cast through sexual energy, making the woman actually feel pleasure in being in a submissive position, or even being abused or taken advantage of. For people that are more humble and are able to accept the harsh lessons from Saturn conjunct Neptune, these people will be really able to start materializing their dreams. And I say start materializing their dreams because Saturn requires you to work hard on everything. And this is the big lesson that Saturn brings into Neptune and also to Aries, because one of the reasons why you may have not been able to materialize these dreams and these visions, it's because in whatever area you have these dreams and visions in the house where you have Aries, it's where you are more impatient, it's where you are more willful, it's where you want things and you want them now. Actually, you want them yesterday. And maybe in this area of your life, you have not been able to put on the work and put on the effort and the investment to see those things actually grow and materialize. And Neptune coming there with Aries will show you clearly what you have not been doing right, where you have been wasting your time and your energy, where you need to put more work and how much work it will take. So you will start being able to see clearly where you have been eluding yourself, believing that you can get something fast and easy, and where you need to actually put on a serious work to achieve something. You will also be able to see which dreams and which things that you have maybe been investing that are a waste of your time. You will understand how certain things are not actually attainable or doable or practical or realistic. And you will be able to cut these things out of your life and stop insisting on them and shift your attention to dedicating yourself to things that actually work for you and improve your life. I predict that the first months of this conjunction, and this conjunction will last until April 2026, I predict that in the first months of this conjunction, it will be a little bit that feeling of things really escalating and becoming too much, too overwhelming, and a lot of people just really overreacting over the crumbling of illusions and becoming even more insisting, keeping the fantasy and the lies. Also because Jupiter will still be in Gemini and it will be squaring this conjunction, and Gemini is the planet connected with communication, with transportation, with information. However, Jupiter will then enter Cancer and still square for a wildest conjunction will, which I believe will shift our attention more to taking care of ourselves. Maybe after all the overwhelm, we will shift and prioritize and change our attention to ourselves, to taking care of our beings, to pulling back our energy. And this is the time where we may find new modalities of healing, of spirituality that can help us to protect our energy, that can help us to reinforce our boundaries and nurture ourselves. This is the time where we also probably will shift our attention and look for groups and for people who can nurture us, who can support us, who can be a family. Not like our real family, but a soul family. We will be starting to look for a soul family instead of thinking that we need to be aligned or to have allegiance to our real family or to our groups or our culture or our society or for some ideal of nationalism, of race or whatever allegiance that you feel like you belong to or you have to be faithful to. After all the overwhelm, all the crumbling of lies and illusion, you will be looking desperately for a soul family. Independently of how that soul family looks like, you will be looking desperately for people that you can connect deeply in a soul level, who get you, who understand you, who accept you, who nurture you, and who see you. The transit of Neptune conjunct Saturn in Pisces, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it maybe will not feel the most pleasurable to most of us, but it will be an important grounding step for the rest of the transit of Neptune in Pisces, because it will help us to really make that rinse and that cleanse on all those things that have not been clear and have been confusing in our lives, and will set us up for a better path, for a more aligned path, for a path that will really help us to grow in the years to come. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope it can provide you some information for you to be able to best navigate these new influences and these energies that are just at the door, just about to start. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves, of your family, of your loved ones. Stay safe. Much love, guys.